There's a pine forest in central Minnesota farm country that just seems to come out of nowhere. It's home to a couple lakes, a scenic river, and wide open valleys. I'm here with my dog to get out on the trail, do a little fishing, and enjoy the crisp fall weather. It's time to fire up that wood stove and soak in some tiny cabin life. This is Sand Dunes State Forest. Named for the sandy soil that covers its 1,600 acres of pine forests, wetlands, and open areas. We're here to do some dispersed camping in the bike cabin, a tiny camper that I designed to be pulled behind my e-bike. The most unique aspect of the bike cabin has got to be the wood stove. It's a tiny little firebox that I customized to be able to fit into this space. It keeps us warm in the cabin in even the coldest temperatures. We're out here for the coldest day so far of the fall, and overnight it's going to dip down into the lower 40s, which is why I busted out the wood stove again. But I'm ready for it. You know, autumn here in Minnesota is probably our best season. The leaves are gorgeous, there are no more bugs, and you can really enjoy being in the outdoors. Connected to the forest here is the Sherburne National Wildlife Refuge, which covers roughly 30,000 acres of habitat, including the St. Francis River. So before we do anything else, I think we should head down there and try to do some fishing. One of the reasons why I love this spot where we're camping is because of its proximity to the river. I've paddled this river before, I've walked on the river in the wintertime, but I've never fished it, so this should be a lot of fun. Well, here she is, but it looks like the water makes its way all the way up to where I'm standing, basically. So I gotta find somewhere dry on the shore where we can do some fishing. Okay, so I found a little point here where we can cast out without falling in. I don't know if we'll find anything, but we'll give it a shot. The St. Francis is a tributary of the Rum River, which eventually flows into the Mississippi. It's just about 30 miles long and is home to numerous fish species, including bass, northern pike, and panfish. Well, it's not happening right now. Far too windy out here, and it's also the middle of the day, so just might not be the right time. We dropped off the fishing gear and headed out on a hike. Man, is it a beautiful day. It's so nice to not be sweating. It's basically what we do here all summer long. That and swat mosquitoes. Believe it or not, I've never been down this trail before. It looks like it's an old road alongside this grove of pines over here. The pine trees of Sand Dunes State Forest are not native to the area. In fact, they were planted in a conservation effort by Ray Clement and conservationist Ella Kringland. The area was once thought to have rich farmland, but due to the sandy soil, it became known as a wasteland. And so the idea was to turn it from a desolate wasteland into a nature lover's dream. Ella Kringland helped organize groups to plant 3 million trees in what's now Sand Dunes State Forest. And so that's why we have this beautiful pine forest here where there technically shouldn't be one. This forest is really such a great place to get away from it all, especially if you don't mind going off the beaten path a bit. You know, our bike cabin definitely limits us as to where we can go. Got to stick to decently, you know, paved trails, figuratively speaking, of course. But if you're willing to hike, you can really find some solitude. And as you can see, it gets pretty thick in here. I'm literally walking through just bushes and bushes of thorns. I think we gotta find a different route or turn back. Well, we'll try this route, and if it gets too thick, we'll just turn back. Oh man, another trail seeming to dead end into just brush. I'm trying to get to the lake over here, but I wanted to do it in a new way. I know another way to go, so I guess we'll have to do that, but would have been cool to try something different. This is an awesome campsite here. It's just perfect the way it's tucked here into the pine trees. It's open. You have a nice fire pit. The only reason I haven't camped here in a while is because it's just right off the road. And I don't know, I like to be a little bit more off in the woods where people don't know that I'm there. There she is. This is Larson Slough. Now, it's technically a wetland area, but it definitely looks like a lake to me. The slough helps with water filtration, flood control, and provides critical habitat for wildlife. It's a pretty nice spot. It's so cool to have public land like this, so close to the metro area. Now that we're back at the cabin, it's time to make a fire and start some dinner. But before I do, I want to make sure I feed Ellie. Now, a lot of people ask us what kind of food she eats, and I'm very grateful to say that she eats food from the farmer's dog. Ellie's been eating food from the farmer's dog for about a year at this point, and we've been beyond satisfied with the results that we've seen in her since she started eating it. The farmer's dog is real, fresh, healthy food that's made in human-grade kitchens to preserve nutritional value. Because we know that eating processed food for every meal isn't good for us, so why would we think that it's okay for our dogs? Since Ellie's been on the farmer's dog, I've noticed that she has a lot more energy consistently. She's also lost a little bit of weight, and her fur is so much softer and much more vibrant in color than it used to be. They make personalized meals for your dog, so all I had to do is tell them a little bit about Ellie, and they send me pre-portioned meals straight to our front door, and they can do so for as little as $2 a day. It's so easy and convenient, you guys. All I have to do is open the package, pour half of the food into her bowl in the morning, and then save the other half for at night. So if you want to try the farmer's dog for your best friend, all you have to do is follow the link in the description of this video to receive 50% off your first box of real fresh food. And they're also going to give you free shipping with that, so it's definitely worth a try. We love Ellie so much, and we know you guys do too. And so that's why we're grateful to the farmer's dog for helping her to become healthier on a daily basis. I've been picking apart this downed tree for the last year, and I thought I would need to use my saw still, but it's so dried out that I can just like pull this stuff apart with my hand. I cleared out a generous area to build a fire just to be safe during this dry time of the year. And in case you're wondering what this is that I'm using as a fire starter, it's called fat wood, and I pick it up at my local hardware store. All it is very dried out wood that has a lot of resin in it, making it very easy to ignite. All right, so for dinner tonight, we're doing something simple but different. I've got 4 of these tamales from Trader Joe's, and I figure if I just wrap them in tin foil and toss them on the fire, that should cook them up pretty nice. Oh yeah, these are done. Dear God, thank you for this food. Thank you for this time in the woods. Amen. Phenomenal. Got a little treat this evening to go along with our dinner. It's not whiskey, but I'm actually happier to have this right now. It's called Mucho Gusto, and it's a Mexican style lager from a local brewery here in the Twin Cities Metro called Badger Hill. I love a good Mexican lager, and this is easily my favorite one. That tastes really, really good. So I just had somebody walk by the camp with a flashlight. And I think they're gone now. But I think they turned off their flashlight too, because they were headed back up the trail that we came down with our bike. And you can see for a ways. I would have thought I could see him with his flashlight, but I couldn't see anything. So either I got there later or he turned it off. Just mentioned earlier that I like being deeper in the woods here because you don't really see people. But yeah, that guy knows we're here. Well, let's get a fire started. So I'm definitely feeling a little on edge. There's always the chance that that was just somebody out for a walk, but it's kind of strange that you'd be out for a walk when it's pitch black, especially on these back trails. And I don't love having people know where our camp is. We're prepared. If we did have an intruder, we'd be just fine. I guess with that being said, I'm gonna just try to relax and get some good sleep tonight. Good morning, girl. I'm up before the sun because I want to head down to the river as soon as we get any sort of light and see if I can do some fishing before we have to get out of here. One last chance to see if we can catch some fish. Well, once again, the fish just weren't biting, but at least we got to catch this gorgeous sunrise to end our time here at Sand Dunes. All right, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. It felt really, really good to be back out in the bike cabin and to just have some cooler temperatures where we could sit out by the fire later, have a fire in our wood stove, and just really sink into the coziness of the autumn season. Now, if you aren't aware yet, I'm going to be doing a 12-hour live stream on Saturday, October 26th from roughly 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be fun to bring you guys out in the travel cabin in real time, and we can just hang out together. You know, I'll be able to answer questions of yours. I've got multiple cameras that I'm gonna be using, so we'll make it as immersive as we possibly can. And I think it's gonna be great. I also wanna give a shout out to our patrons who donate to this channel. Thank you guys so much. It means the world to us. But with that, it's time for me to get out of here and head home. We'll see you next week. God bless.